Hello and welcome to Update Novi. With me is our very festive, you can put that on, coming to you with the holiday edition, Mayor Justin Fischer. Welcome.
Thanks for having me back.
Thanks for coming back.
Of course.
We must
Friday
be doing
in
some
December.
right.
We got a little snow on the ground. Wow,
I know.
this is great.
We must be doing some right because you do keep coming back.
Of course, because I have so much fun.
You have so much fun.
This is the 1 hour a month that I just love the best.
That's good. I like that. Poor Dan's in the hot seat. Dan's like, what's going on here? Are they going to talk to me? We have a special guest. For a multitude of reasons. It is the holiday season. Dan Jones with us today is the general manager of 12 Oaks Mall and has been for ever.
21 years.
21. I was going to give you 22.
Close to 20.
And we talked about this yesterday. You and I thought, had a deal.
Huh.
Like we have a deal. Like you are the general manager till like we all go at the same time.
We're all
we all like
exiting together.
My wife trumped you. So.
Okay,
That makes sense.
I'll give her that.
Understood.
And I say that actually with such gratitude in my heart and thanks because you have been an amazing community partner through ups, downs, trials, tribulations, retail, we can all agree what retail looked like 22 years ago, 21 years ago, or when you started your career is a 180 from what it looks like now, right?
Sure.
So you have been an amazing community partner and have given back so much to this community. So wanted to have you on and say thank you, first and foremost.
Appreciate
and
that.
then also talk about 12 Oaks.
Sure.
So thank you. What made you, because many businesses, Mayor and I know, operate here and do a great job, but don't get involved. What was it? Why?
As far as getting involved in the community?
Yeah.
I think part of it is, the mall is such a profound part of Novi, and, there are several opportunities, and, at the end of the day, it's just fun, and you get to know people like yourself and others in the community, and it just makes it easier to do business. And but yeah, it's just like I said, the opportunities are there, and it's always been fun to do it. So,
and I think people don't realize the relationships that you develop, whether it be with the chamber, a very close relationship with our public safety teams, right? Sure. I mean, not just from a police side and safety from theft and crime, but from an emergency standpoint, fires, emergencies, people, you have probably
Medical
tens of thousands of people. We've always said, like the daytime population in Novi, especially during this time of the year, grows exponentially because of the mall. So you develop a close relationship, working partnership with our public safety.
Yeah, they're there pretty much every day, because if you think about it, the mall sees roughly 1 million people per month, and when you have that volume of people, there are things associated with that, and ultimately because we manage the building, obviously the fire department's there on a very regular basis, not from an emergency perspective, but inspecting new store construction and all of the different things that go into, managing a business that has, nearly 200 different tenants operating in it.
So we are in the holiday season here. You talked about 1 million people. What kind of uptick have you seen? What type of uptick do you expect kind of through that holiday season?
Yeah, it's always a very important time for retail. Yeah. I think, roughly 30% gets done in the months of November and December, which, goes back to the old, term of Black Friday, where, the profit starts for many retailers. And, but yeah, it's still a super critical time period. It's obviously evolved over the years, where there, are different options. But at the end of the day, it also takes you through, the beginning of January. It doesn't just stop on Christmas Eve. Because everybody's off that week after, or many people are, so except for us retailers. But yeah,
you're busy. One of your busiest times.
Yeah, we get a lot of shopping during that time frame. Whether it's people that are returning items, people that are getting items that they didn't wanted to get but didn't get, looking for sales, whatever it might be. So I always say we can, the finish line isn't Christmas Eve. It really is when everybody goes back to work and the kids go back to school, because we'll stay real busy through that time. And when I say that,
to settle down again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Very good.
I think when people think about the mall, we've talked about this before, they don't see malls as lively as they have. But if they haven't visited, and I've been up on the shopping. I'm trying to keep a good clip of it here. The mall you're 90-some% occupied with stores. It's vibrant. What are you seeing? I mean, people, what do you do to dispel the mall? We don't need malls. There's online shopping.
I mean, online shopping's still a minor portion of overall retail sales, and there's always going to be, a group of people, a large group of people that want a traditional brick and mortar location, and the two just work hand in hand. I mean, one can't survive without the other, and I think the good retailers figure that out pretty early, and they work both sides of that business. Neither one's going away, but as far as malls go, there are certainly that didn't get reinvested in, maybe in communities that didn't support them properly, or the market just simply didn't support them properly. They didn't attract the right tenants and so forth. So for a variety of reasons, some of those have obviously suffered, but fortunately malls like 12 Oaks have kind of prospered from that, where those customers come from other areas. And but yeah, we've been able to stay strong and continue to attract the right tenants and the right customers.
I think that's an important distinction, right? I mean, I'm still one of these people who, sure, there's things that I do online now, but there's things that I still want to go and I touch and feel before I make that
100%.
purchase.
Yep.
And I think that 12 Oaks has done a great job of attracting the tenants that have that right balance. My predecessor, Bob Gadd, always says that, 12 Oaks put Novi on the map.
Yep.
And there have been so many changes over all those times, but you do, I've been to the mall recently. It looks phenomenal. It's beautiful, clean, pristine. You can tell the reinvestment that you've made over the years. But over the last 20 years that you've been there, what are some of the kind of biggest changes that you've seen and kind of been most proud of?
Well, physically, the biggest change was, expanding the mall and adding Nordstrom back in 2007, and I still kind of think of it as the new wing, and it's, oddly enough, it's 17 years old now. But physically, that was obviously the biggest.
Now you're dating all of us.
I know, right?
Yeah. So and it's been in place for 47 years now. So Novi wasn't very old when 12 Oaks moved in, but it's just constantly evolving. I'd be honest with you, I get to the point where I kind of start to forget what stores were before some of the ones that we have. And that's just the nature of the business, where things just evolve and fall out of favor with the community or, the customer base, and then we add something new. So, but yeah, it's just a constant evolution, and it's been fun to watch. So.
I still remember where Eddie Bauer used to be because I worked there back in high school.
Really?
But,
Where was it?
It was kind of on the other side. I think kind of more where the Apple store was now, kitty corner from Sabaros.
Okay.
It's still on the other side
now,
upper
I
level
think.
near
Yep.
Nordstrom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or not, I'm sorry, near Apple store.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too funny. I didn't know you were an
Yeah.
Eddie Bauer guy.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about any exciting changes that are on the horizon? Can we just say that? Can we at least
You
say I can? You can't? But I don't want to be that girl. But I think
Now that was a little stretch too far there, Cheryl.
right. I think it's super exciting because when people drive by and we get questions, the mayor and council do, what are you going to do about the mall? Well, what do you mean? What are you going to do about the mall? The mall's in great shape. Many of your stores, which we know, are performing at the top of their organization's portfolio, right? They're making millions of dollars annually, just at 12 Oaks,
Yep.
right? So they're healthy, they're growing, they're very profitable. But people see the old Lord & Taylor space. They see Sears, which has been closed 5 years?
2019.
Maybe? And no fault of 12 Oaks, the mall. It just was the nature of
Yeah, they closed all of them. So,
right? They
yeah.
closed. It wasn't anything we or the city or you all. But it's just, to me, it's exciting to know that there's movement there.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely activity there. As far as we know, fully executed leases. So, as we talked before, Sears owns the building still, so they have leased to some other tenants. Some of that'll start. There's been some landlord work already. You'll start to see major construction in 2025 and some openings probably 2026. But yeah, it should fill both the upper and lower level of Sears with some different opportunities up there. And I think they're nationally and internationally recognized brands that'll really resonate with the community, and it'll be a really positive addition to the
I'm
shopping
super
center.
excited.
Yeah, it'll be
I'm
great.
super excited. That is like my destination when we go to Dublin or when we go to England. That's like I'm going to give a hint, but I'm super excited.
I
about
got you.
it. Yeah.
So say that one more time, because that's a question I often get about the ownership of kind of the Sears
point.
footprint and even some of the anchor stores. So you can kind of explain that relationship with the mall in a quick 2-3 sentences.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously got to go back, a half a century to understand, why would it have been done that way. But Sears, Macy's, Lord & Taylor, and JCPenney actually own their own building, and they own sections of the parking lot. We have operating agreements with each of them that says, you'll do this, we'll do that, and it's intended to just overlap everything, so it feels like one entity, but ultimately there are separations
A lot of moving parts
that we have to consider every time something happens. So.
Right. Okay.
And you talk about moving parts. I think sometimes people go to the mall and they see your barricades or the facade where it's blank. It's like a shell game inside. If someone wants to expand, which Pottery Barn is expanding, but they're moving. So people see that, something left, but really it's under construction because it's moving to a bigger footprint in the store, and there's plans for something else to move in. So it is like a shell game, and
yeah, you hate to have the barricade up because sometimes it's just seen as an empty store, but typically there is activity behind it or a plan for it, and oftentimes the retailer doesn't necessarily want to publicize that, so you can't put a coming soon sign. But as I walk through the shopping center with a lot of people, I feel like I'm just kind of explaining all the activity, just to kind of get that notion out of their head that there's nothing happening there, because there typically is.
So obviously a big retail component, but another, I would say, kind of upgrade over the years that I've been in Novi is there's so many eating establishments now that have kind of come in. I'm going to put you on the hot seat for a little bit here because there have been so many good ones coming in. If you were to go to lunch today and pick your favorite, do you have one that you would go to?
Our tried and true.
Or a couple. You can throw a couple lines out there.
Yeah, we love everybody.
Of course.
Sedona Tap House has been a great addition to the shopping
Yes, it
center.
has.
They opened roughly 2018, I believe it was, and
6 years.
yeah, and they do a great job. They're very hands-on ownership and management, and they just have a very consistent product. It's a great environment. I was just there for lunch yesterday, but that's really our go-to. And I think people are still discovering Sedona Tap House.
Yep.
And it feels small enough that it's very unique. And there's, the only other one in the market is in Troy, so pretty good distance away. And the same operators have that location as well, but it's been our favorite for a long time now.
It ranks up there for me. Cheryl was beating me up about our 2025 plans, but took me to lunch, and that's where we had our planning session too. So, but even the food court is just an upgrade from what it was, years and years ago. That's an amazing area.
Yeah.
So
we've been able to keep it full. Obviously, cheesecake continues to do extremely well.
Yep.
It's every mall wants more food, but it's a very competitive industry, and obviously there's a lot of freestanding locations in the city of Novi and other areas too, so that makes it even more competitive. But we're happy to have the ones we have.
I always like to remind people, you can make a whole day of going to the mall. Go do some shopping, grab some lunch, have a drink, get then do a little more shopping after that. So
And Nordstrom has a great restaurant inside
yes,
as well.
yep, up on the
forget
second.
that.
Didn't
Yeah.
want to forget that
Second
one.
store right
Forget
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I really thank you. Nearly 20. You say 21. I'm going to say nearly 22
very
years
close. Very close.
of friendship, of partnership, and I guess from a city standpoint, really maintaining the status of retail in Novi. Novi is seen as a premier shopping destination, in large part to 12 Oaks Mall, to what Mayor said, the reinvestment, the continued reinvestment in the property. It's the largest, people don't realize, it's the largest indoor shopping center in Michigan. And you draw from Lansing, Grand Rapids, Toledo. I mean, you're
everywhere.
where people come from. It really, and then when you get there, that mile of Novi, Mayor Gatt used to joke, like, if you can't find it there, like, you don't need it, right?
Probably don't need it.
You probably
Yep.
don't need it.
Exactly.
So,
And on top of that, to how Cheryl started as well, the city can't do what it does for its residents without partners. And at the top of that list has been 12 Oaks consistently through thick and thin. So we appreciate the partnership and hopefully look forward to continue that.
Yep. Absolutely. Our pleasure.
wishing you so much happiness in retirement. I'm going to miss you. We're going to miss you. But we are ever so grateful, and you forever have friends in Novi. And I'm sure your replacement, Scott, who I'm sure he's going to be great.
Yep.
Next Thanksgiving, if you're looking for something to do, I bet you. You're going to be out of town next Thanksgiving. I already see it. You're going to be I've got the holidays free next year, right?
We'll see. My wife will dictate all that.
You're a good man.
As it should be.
You're a good man, Dan Jones. But thank you seriously
Thank you.
for
I appreciate it.
your friendship. It's been a true pleasure.
Absolutely. Same here.
Mayor, we typically end, and I'm sorry you're going to sit through this, but you're a homeowner in Oakland County too. So we typically end with a little mention of something that's super relevant that's going on. And Novi recently, within the last month or so, we were immune. We now have unfortunately been the victim of several home invasions.
Yep.
Happening in the south end of our community by what's believed to be a South American transnational gang group that is operating throughout the country. It's their job. It's their MO. They come here and they're stealth, man.
Highly sophisticated
Yes.
operations, it seems like. But yes, this is a question kind of people are asking for an update. This is the question I get most recently in the last month. And so thought we'd want to just...
Yeah, Commander Meyer and I did a great little piece. If anyone's interested, you can find it on the website, just how to protect themselves, what they're targeting homes that back up to golf courses, wooded, vacant property, et cetera, and they're coming in through the rear access to people's homes. And they are, to your point, Mayor, so sophisticated. They are jamming or disabling security systems. Yep. And we are encouraging anybody that if you have, many people have Ring or Nest or cameras, if you get an alert that your Wi-Fi goes out, any type of suspicious activity, to immediately call the Novi Police Department. They'd rather show up and it be nothing, an animal was in your backyard or something, but we had success.
And that's the most important point that I want to make too. I was talking with some people at my day job about this as well, and they had mentioned, my daughter saw someone walking through the woods, but didn't really want to bother the police. And I said, nope, you don't have to call 911. You can call the non-emergency, but the police are happy to check those things out. It's better to be safe than sorry. It's the old, if you see something, say something.
Yes.
So that's my big encouragement, especially with the holidays, gifts being out. Don't be afraid to call on our police. They're happy to check things out and help out.
Yeah, we did have success. Our police department, in addition to that video and education piece we did, our police have been going to homeowners association groups. You ask, they'll come. They'll help educate your homeowners. They'll talk to your community. And one of the communities, we had been there a week or so prior. Someone on their camera saw something, or Wi-Fi went out, and police arrived. We were successful in apprehending a suspect, and the person has since been arraigned and is a part of this group. And unfortunately, anybody could be prey and become a victim of this. So
well, let's just stay vigilant. Call if you see something, and know that our awesome people in uniform are working tirelessly to apprehend these people.
Right, they are in the our police
already.
are extra patrolling neighborhoods, trying to thwart any of these home invasions.
Very good.
Home invasions. Let's talk of home invasion maybe on a different note.
Okay.
We're in December. There is someone that I guess invades homes.
Okay.
Would you say?
Are you suggesting we don't call the police on this one?
We don't call the police.
All right.
And,
who are we talking about?
I'm thinking. Do you hear something? Do you hear?
I hear some bells here.
I hear something.
Uh-oh. Do we have a visitor coming?
We do have a visitor coming.
You didn't tell me about this.
Hello, Mayor.
How
Hi,
are
Dan.
you, sir? Welcome.
Good.
Merry
Dan.
Christmas,
Many, many
Santa.
years.
Hi,
Yes, sir.
How are
I'm
you?
good.
Hello, my friend.
Yeah. I'm so excited to be in Novi. You have so many nice kids in Novi.
We do?
We do.
You do. And they're all on that nice list. They are doing wonderful, and I am excited to be here to see them.
Is Mayor on the nice list? He didn't answer. I heard like a nervous laugh.
We'll have to talk later,
We'll
Santa.
talk. Yeah, we'll talk. I know you've been trying really hard, though.
Can I move some people to your naughty list too, by the way?
Well, thank you. Thank you for spending some time to coming down
You're
and
welcome.
chat. I know you were here a couple weeks ago at our Light the Lights, and we sent some letters from that event up to you. And
It did.
I heard that your elves have sent postcards back.
They have. They've sent postcards back. They've been working on the list, too.
Okay, that's
Very
awesome.
busy making toys.
Yeah,
very
it's a
busy.
very busy time for you.
Yes, it is.
I'm glad you're able to join us today too.
Thank you for inviting me. This is awesome.
Thank you.
This is wonderful. I'm
Thanks for
excited.
spreading the holiday joy. We
Okay.
look forward to seeing you on December 24th.
That's right. That's right.
Good.
I'll be coming in your house on December 24th.
No checking the ring
Dropping
cameras
things
that
off.
night.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of trends we were talking about in retail, any trends that the kids are looking for
Lots
these
of
days?
toys, though. Lots
Yeah?
of good toys this year.
Okay.
They really are.
Yep,
A lot
yep.
of good
Yeah.
toys. Yeah, and the kids have got some good ideas what they want.
I'm sure it's everything from ponies to dogs to trains to
Exactly.
to Nintendos, right?
Yeah, my little guys that do electronics have been very, very busy too.
I believe. Well, best of luck to them. Tell them to
Thank
keep up the good
you.
work, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Santa.
Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.
Bye-bye. Merry
Bye.
Christmas. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you,
My
Mayor,
pleasure.
for the time. Wishing everybody the merriest of Christmas, the happiest of holidays, whatever you might be celebrating. From the bottom of our hearts, and all you do for Novi, we wish you a blessed, safe, happy, healthy holiday.
And exciting things to come in 2025 as well.
I
So
know.
rest up over the holidays, and let's hit the ground running.
We'll be talking about the state of the city before you know it.
No, we won't.
Yes, we will. It's coming. It's coming. Happy holidays. Happy
holidays. Yeah,
holidays.
thank you.
Thank you
Thanks for
again
joining
for all
us.
you do.
My pleasure.
Happy holidays, Novi. Until next time, take care.